Yo, what is up? Welcome back. Today in this video, we got a couple highly requested Red Hood pieces that we're going to be taking a look at, and a build that's specifically made for ranged attacks, the sniper. We'll be taking a look at each one of the pieces in this loadout and go over the conditional stats and all that stuff, jump into some gameplay and give you my opinion on how good I think this build is. Red Hood is probably by far my least used character, but I certainly have a lot of fun with this build, and it does absolutely amazing ranged damage. If you enjoy the video, be sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, what do y'all think about this build? And before we get started, I just want to say that the first two pieces, Suit and Melee, are in the game files. They are not droppable just yet. Hopefully Heroic Assault we'll see some of those. And if you're wondering about all the pieces in the game that have yet to be dropped, I did make a spreadsheet for every piece that is in the game files. Check the link in the description if you want to go check that out. So let's jump into it and look at the three pieces first. And like I said, this build is geared more towards ranged attacks, everything for ranged and everything for like flawless aim as well. So first up, we got the sniper suit, melee. There are not yet in the game, so hopefully we see them soon. But anyways, the suit's up first. Legendary suit increases defense for a short duration when hitting an enemy's weak spot. I put on defense and health as far as the armor goes, or as far as the mods go. But let's take a look at the gear properties, because obviously that's what makes each of the pieces so good. The power of the defense, the health, as you see right there, grade 2 out of 2. Nothing crazy as far as the defense and health or the grade or anything, but the gear properties, precision shell, hitting an enemy's weak spot with a ranged attack increases defense, short duration. Very nice, because at any point, if you hit an enemy's weak spot, you get extra defense. Exploit heal, knocking out an enemy with a headshot grants health to the wearer and the allies. So that's also really nice. Instant health to yourself and all your allies when we do like Heroic Assault. Headshot Vengeance. Following a headshot, critical damage is increased for a short duration. The next attack is also guaranteed to be critical. So overall, as far as the suit goes, I mean, it has almost everything you need except for momentum. There's really not a lot of momentum in this, and you'll see in the video we kind of stray away from doing abilities. I just wanted y'all to see the range, just basic ranged and flawless aim ranged attacks. But it has defense, it has health, and it has extra damage. Pretty much everything you need when it comes to being able to not only survive, but to get through enemies as fast as possible. Force projection pistols. We did a video on Batgirl. It was the only gear piece that had 4 mod slots besides for any of the mod stuff you get from the watch. And Batgirl has 2 of them. Red Hood has the only other piece currently in the game files that does have 4 mod slots and grade 3. It's not a misprint. It is not modded. It's an actual piece with 4 mod slots, grade 3. I put on a bunch of crit chance, some crit damage, but as far as the melee goes, it's not necessarily, as critical as far as the crit damage goes, because you're going to be doing mostly ranged attacks. Melee properties, finisher projection, knocking out an enemy with a melee attack increases ranged damage for a short duration. So when you're switching from ranged to melee, you can get extra melee or extra ranged damage by knocking out with a melee. Finisher bullseye, knocking out an enemy with a melee attack guarantees the next ranged attack to be critical. So if you get a headshot, you're guaranteed to be critical. If you knock out an enemy with a melee, guaranteed to be critical. So overall, I mean, it's a pretty darn good piece. It has pretty high damage, 40%, I think, starting off crit chance, and the crit damage is, I don't know, subtract all that stuff, it's somewhere around 80% or something like that. But really definitely a fantastic piece with the 4 mod slots, grade 3, amazing. And then we got the ranged rounds, which is the Thrill Seekers. This is in the game currently, and so you can pick these up. Out of all the pieces, I really like this one just for one specific property, and you'll see here in just a second. but it's only grade 1 out of 1, which really isn't all that great because we want 2 out of 2 or 3 out of 3 to get that extra damage and all that. But I added crit chance, crit damage. You could probably go straight crit damage all the way down if you have all of them. Since I'm on PC, I actually don't. So that's what I went with. But as far as the ranged properties, Final Retribution increases damage and crit chance of the next attack when wearer has less than half health. You're going to be getting a lot of health by knocking out enemies with headshots from the melee. Even with ranged attacks, you're still going to get that extra health. So you probably won't be under less than half health too often. But the headshot multiplier is why I added this one. Following a headshot, the next hit deals double damage. So if you get a headshot, not only is the next attack guaranteed to be critical, you get extra crit damage and you get double damage. If there's another piece that you think that would go better for the ranged, let me know. I did test out quite a few of them, but overall there are the stats, health 5,000, defense 4,500. Both of those are pretty solid. The melee is really good. Obviously with the being grade 3 out of 3, has tons of damage, tons of crit damage. The ranged attack, the damage is okay, but and the crit chance really isn't all that high, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be guaranteed so many guaranteed crits, and then that crit damage will go up as well. All right, so now let's jump into some gameplay. And like I said, I really want to focus on ranged attacks when it comes to the gameplay. Flawless aim, headshots, crit damage. This is the highest difficulty. High difficulty with very high activities. So this is the hardest you can get. And the amount of just basic ranged damage with the flawless damage is absolutely amazing with Red Hood. He is a lot of fun to play. I will have to say that even though he's my least played character, I had a lot of fun with this, just hanging back and being like a sniper and just looking for those headshots. You'll see that 9,000 just on a basic attack. And plus it dropped nth metal on a yellow guy, which is kind of interesting. 9,000, 5,000 just on flawless aim, getting headshots. The only thing I would say about this that I did notice is that when I did get a headshot, it didn't feel like the next attack was always critical. So I wasn't sure if there was like a cooldown at all when it comes to the with that conditional stat or not. But either way, it still does absolute tons of damage. I mean, I've gotten as much as 20,000 on a basic ranged attack on very high difficulty without using any sort of ability whatsoever. And so the abilities are nice and they do help out quite a bit, but having these attacks where you could pull 9,000, 10,000, 11,000 just constantly with crit after crit after crit, using his infinite ammo ability. I can't remember what it's called, but that one right there, where he just reloads and then gets infinite ammo after that for a short duration. It's so much fun to just hold down the trigger, being away, and just like constantly get those crits, constantly get those headshots, do tons of damage. And these are just plowing through very high difficulty on the hardest level with when they have the most health possible, just being able to get through these so easy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun in Heroic Assault, being able to use this in Heroic Assault, and the amount of health that you could get from, knocking out enemies with the headshots and then getting that extra crit chance and crit damage. It's pretty amazing. But let me know in the comments. I mean, what do you think about this build? How do you think I can improve it? What rounds do you think or would you add to it? There isn't a sniper, melee, or ranged. All three of these, or the first two, the suit and the melee, does not have a complete set. They are just singular pieces. But anyways, that is gonna do it for the Red Hood sniper build, which is certainly, like I said, a lot of fun to play with. And I'm probably gonna practice a lot more using Red Hood. I'm definitely not very good with the flawless aim, considering he's the only character that you really use it with. But there are so many times in which just basic ranged attacks I can get with the flawless aim, get over 20,000 damage just on the hardest difficulty, on the hardest enemies, which is pretty awesome. It does have a few drawbacks, obviously, no momentum buildup, and it doesn't do very well against shields, which, you know, you got to break the shield before you do that. But he does have abilities to be able to, you know, do that with. But either way, let me know in the comments what y'all think. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all take it easy. We're out. Peace.